We're continuing our look at the WP Simple PayPal Shopping Cart plugin. We've got our cart running in the sidebar now as well as on a checkout page if we wanted. It's time to look at shipping and see how that works. Now, unfortunately, on the settings page under quick usage here, it doesn't have anything about shipping. To get that information, you have to go to the cart's home page, which is filled with lots of information, but it's a bit hard to use. I'm having to dig through here all the way down. There we go. That's the actual documentation site, which is better organized here. And I need to go to shipping costs. Let's see how they work. Gives you examples here of how to add this to your cart. So let me just grab this short code. Whoops, I'm missing the end. You want to make sure you get those square brackets completely. I go back here to one of our products. I'm just going to add this on the end so we can see the difference here. There we go. So we're just simply adding on shipping after the price. So I'm just going to do that. Do the whole thing so we know we've got the ending properly. Remember, this is not standard and not a standard way of doing short codes, so you've got to make sure you follow their method exactly. So I hit update here, and I go back, and I refresh. It's going to try and resend material from the last time we were using the shopping cart. So I need to go here and refresh the page this way instead. So now I add to cart, and we will see our price is added there, and now that $2 shipping charge is added on as well. Now remember, that's $2 per plate. If I update this to say 4 items, enter return, it'll recalculate, and now it's $8 for shipping, so $2 per plate. Now, shipping calculations are always a tricky thing, and you'll have to look at this in your own individual case. But here's something to think about. If you set your price too high per item and they keep adding more items, they're going to have quite a high shipping cost. So you have to sort of work out, assuming maybe 2 plates or 3 plates, what's that going to cost me? And you kind of even it out. But if you start too low, you cause problems. If you're too high on a per unit shipping cost, then you cause more problems. So I understand it's tricky to know how to do this. One of the ways around this is to have a base shipping rate, and we talked about this briefly under settings. Let's go back and see here. You can have a base shipping cost, which right now is set at 0, so it doesn't do any of that. If I put in here $10, and I'm going to update my options now under my settings, and if I go back to here, let's just clear our cart completely. All right, so we're starting from scratch. We'll add this again. Now watch what happens. There's our $2, remember, per item, but there's another $10 added on there for shipping. That's your base cost. So no matter how many items you enter, it'll always have that $10 starting point. Let's see if that's true. If we add, say, 3 more items, hit enter and return. Good. So it didn't keep adding the $10. That only happened once, but we have 4 items, each at $2. There's our $8 for a total of $18. And again, let's just make sure this is getting passed through to PayPal. Here it is. Yes, shipping and handling, $18. Okay, good. It's always good to check that just to make sure. Okay, so that's one way to solve some issues of adding shipping costs to each one. Now, one of the quirks of this base shipping cost is, let me clear my cart here. I'm going to go down to winter plate. Now, we haven't put any shipping costs on winter plate. I'm going to add to cart. Notice here, it doesn't show us any base shipping cost. And yet I told it, put on a base shipping cost of $10. Well, the problem is that this cart is set up to handle both digital and, which doesn't have any shipping, and physical products that have shipping. And so what it's trying to do is say, look, only those products that need shipping or a base shipping cost, you've got to have a shipping value in there. Even if, and I'll show you in their example, even if it's just a small amount. So here's their answer, is to say, look, If you want a base shipping cost added on, you're going to have to make every product that needs some shipping, you're going to have to give it some value or other. And in this case, they're giving it 0.001. So let's copy that. And we're going to change our winter plate to reflect that. Where's our winter plate? There it is. So I go in here and I change it now. I add on this ending. See, 0.001 cents. I update it. Now I have to make sure I clear my cart. Watch this. If I do it, I'll show you. If I add to cart here, it's not going to add the $10. I have to actually clear my cart completely. Start from scratch. Now, of course, your visitors aren't going to run into this. We're just experimenting with it. There we go. So now it added the $10. That 0.001 doesn't get calculated in at all. That's the tricky part, is you're going to have to do this shipping for every single product, even though you don't have a particular shipping cost for the item, but you want your base shipping cost added in. You're going to have to put at least this 0.001. So that's our look at doing basic individual shipping costs for items and a base shipping cost for everything. We still want to take a look at the importance of order in these short codes, as well as how to deal with taxes.